In this very moment, your spirit resonates at a specific frequency. This plane of awareness is shaped entirely by your inner state right now. Ancient wisdom traditions have explored this for thousands of years. Through deep introspection, masters and sages map the inner worlds, describing distinct planes of existence that a soul navigates between lifetimes. They did not just name these states of being. They offered profound insights into what determines the reality you can perceive and, more importantly, how you can elevate your own awareness while you are still walking this earth. Before we explore these transformative teachings, I invite you to connect with our journey here. By joining this community, you help ensure these profound insights can find their way to those who are ready to receive them in a world often filled with noise. Here is a fundamental truth that can reshape your understanding of your life's path. Timeless teachings suggest that a vast number of people are moving through life from a very dense energetic frequency. They exist in a state that could be called the consciousness of attachment, a way of being so entangled with ego and physical desire that a spirit can repeat the same lessons for many lifetimes. But there is a deeper, more challenging aspect to our spiritual journey. Consider a story from the old traditions, a parable of a merchant whose soul was seen to be caught in a loop. For what seemed like centuries, his spirit returned to face the same inner conflicts, all because he repeated the same fundamental errors in awareness in each life. Observers of his path noted a deep sense of turmoil around this pattern, a powerful energy of stagnation. The lesson was unmistakably clear. This soul was not moving forward. This single insight changes our entire understanding of what it means to progress. You see, many of us assume that moving through many lives automatically creates spiritual growth. Ancient wisdom shows this to be a profound misunderstanding. In fact, timeless records speak of countless souls who have journeyed for ages without ever moving beyond the first stage of awareness. Allow me to paint a picture for you, one drawn from these deep wells of knowledge. Imagine 7 great mountains of consciousness, each representing a higher, clearer perspective. At the very base is what is known as the worldly awareness. Here, souls are so deeply bound to physical wants, anxieties, and the sense of self that they unknowingly build the walls of their own inner confinement. What is truly sobering about this initial realm is this: great teachings describe souls who have remained in this state since long fallen civilizations thousands of years ago. These were not wicked people. They were ordinary souls who never learned how to move beyond their most basic human programming. They consistently chose what was comfortable over what was expansive, what was fearful over what was loving, and the needs of the ego over the call of the spirit. And here is where the insight becomes truly transformative. These souls do not even perceive their own stillness. They believe they are growing spiritually because they engage in the rituals of life work, relationships, challenges, passing on and returning. But their core awareness never expands. They are like wanderers in a dream, unconsciously living the same patterns again and again. Now, before any concern arises about your own state of awareness, let me share something that offers profound clarity and hope. An ancient teaching, shared toward the end of a great master's life, offers a key. When asked, how can one know the frequency from which their spirit is operating? His answer was incredibly insightful. He explained that every human spirit receives constant signals indicating its state of awareness, but most are too caught up in the outer world to notice. These signals appear in our dreams, as sudden intuitive flashes, through meaningful coincidences, and in what might be called moments of soul knowing. When you feel a truth in your bones, beyond any logical explanation, there is a specific practice shared in these teachings that can show you your current plane of awareness right now. It is a simple yet powerful method, often called the practice of the mirror self. This is not a complex meditative journey. It is a direct method that takes only moments and will reveal the space your soul is currently navigating. Here is how it works, and I encourage you to try this with an open heart. When you meet another person who awakens a strong negative feeling inside you, be it anger, jealousy, judgment, or fear, you are actually seeing a reflection of an unhealed part of your own awareness. The strength of your inner response points to your current frequency. If your immediate response is blame or sharp judgment, your awareness is functioning from the first realm, the state of material attachment. If you feel a sense of compassion mixed with a desire to understand, you are tapping into higher streams of awareness. But if you can see that person as a spirit on a human journey, just like you, and feel a genuine sense of peace for their path, you are operating from what the masters called boundless compassion, the highest state of awareness possible in this life. This practice is so precise that ancient teachers used it to guide students in knowing who was ready for deeper truths and who needed to focus on foundational inner work. The reflection was always true. Now, allow me to share an insight about our collective journey that may expand your perspective. It is told that in ages past, during a time of great advancement, there were societies with access to spiritual understanding and states of awareness that are difficult for us to imagine today. And here is the truly meaningful part. Many of these highly aware souls have chosen to walk the earth in our present era, specifically to help humanity take a great step forward in its evolution. It's said that many souls born in the last century carried with them an intuitive memory of these higher states of awareness. Their purpose, to anchor a more elevated frequency on this planet and to show others through their own being how to find these clearer streams of consciousness. This suggests that some among us are living from a place of awareness that is far more expansive than the norm. They are not here by chance. They are here as part of a great turning to help our world awaken to its next stage of possibility. But here is something even more empowering. The ancient teachings say that any soul, no matter its current place on the journey, can powerfully accelerate its own expansion by living in alignment with certain universal principles of spiritual growth. One of the most complete teachings on this subject outlines 5 specific practices that can guide a soul from the densest state of awareness to the most luminous in a single journey of life. These are not elaborate rituals. They are practical ways of being that anyone can begin at any moment. The first principle is often called selfless action. But this goes much deeper than simply doing good deeds. It means that every choice you make, from the smallest to the largest, either feeds the ego or nourishes the soul's journey. Souls caught in lower frequencies consistently choose to satisfy the self. Evolved souls consistently choose what elevates awareness for all. Now, here is how this ancient wisdom becomes very practical for our modern world. One of the most powerful teachings addresses the greatest challenge for spiritual seekers today: the illusion that worldly success is a measure of spiritual growth. The masters saw that many souls actually move backward spiritually when they achieve great material gain, because they confuse abundance in the world with richness of spirit. They observed countless souls who were far more spiritually open in lives of simplicity than they were in their current lives of wealth. This does not mean that possessions are wrong. It means your relationship with them determines your inner frequency. If your resources serve your spiritual path and help others on theirs, they elevate your awareness. If they serve your ego and create a feeling of separation, they anchor you in the lower realms. The second universal principle is understanding the mind as a creative force. A profound teaching explains that most of us are unaware that we are constantly shaping our spiritual reality with our patterns of thought. Every single thought is either raising your inner frequency or lowering it. And here is a subtle point that is often missed. The teachings show that merely thinking positive thoughts is not sufficient to elevate your awareness. In fact, it was seen that some souls used positivity to avoid looking at their own difficult emotions, which kept them in a state of spiritual standstill. True evolution of consciousness requires what can be called purification through radical honesty. This involves meeting your own shadows with courage accepting your human imperfections without judgment, and holding yourself in compassion. Only from that place of honesty can you access the higher planes of awareness where true change occurs. The third principle is healing as a service to the world. But this did not refer only to healing the body. One of the most transformative insights is that every aspect of yourself that you bring to peace automatically contributes to the healing of that same aspect in others, even in people you will never meet. This is possible because, at the deepest level, all awareness is interconnected. When you resolve your own fear, you lessen the weight of fear in the collective human spirit. When you heal your own anger, you make it easier for others to release theirs. When you release your own shame, you help to free all of humanity from the energetic patterns that keep our world bound to lower frequencies. This means your personal inner work is never just for you. You are literally helping to elevate the awareness of humanity itself. Every time you choose compassion over fear, forgiveness over resentment, or clarity over illusion, you are lending your strength to our planet's journey toward the light. But there is something that can completely transform how you see your path. An old teaching revealed the single most important quality for determining which realm of awareness a soul can enter. It was not their good actions, their devoted practices, or even their depth of knowledge. It was their capacity for authentic forgiveness. The masters taught that forgiveness is the sacred key that opens the doors to all higher states of being. Not the kind of forgiveness many people practice, where one forgives but secretly holds on to a subtle feeling of being wrong. It refers to a boundless forgiveness, where you completely let go of the need for anyone or anything to be different than it is. This degree of forgiveness is so uncommon. Most people believe they have forgiven when they have simply pushed down their hurt or chosen to act superior. True forgiveness requires seeing past the illusion of being separate and recognizing that every person is acting from their current level of understanding and pain. Here is a timeless story that shows what this means. A woman was abandoned by her partner for another. She was filled with a deep sense of betrayal and bitterness. In her heart, she wished for his suffering in the future. A wise guide offered her a different perspective. He explained that her partner's actions were, in fact, an opportunity for her soul's journey, forcing her to choose between the consciousness of a victim and the state of spiritual freedom. If she could find true forgiveness for him, not because he was worthy of it, but because forgiveness would unchain her own spirit, she would make an extraordinary leap in her awareness. The woman spent 2 years in deep reflection with this guidance. When she finally found that state of true release, she did not just feel emotionally lighter. According to the teachings, her own awareness expanded from a realm of conflict to one of profound peace, a shift that can often take many lifetimes to make. But here is the most incredible aspect of this teaching. Months after her inner shift, her former partner reached out to her. He had, in his own words, gone through a deep spiritual awakening and wished to make amends. He had no knowledge of her inner work on forgiveness. Yet the change in her own energy had somehow created an opening for his own evolution. This is what the masters meant when they taught that healing yourself offers healing to others. Consciousness is not bound by physical distance or time. When you genuinely elevate your own spirit, everyone you have ever connected with feels that shift and is given a new opportunity to grow. Now, let me share the fourth universal law from these traditions, seeing death as a conscious crossing. Most people fear death as an end that comes to them. The deep spiritual teachings show that death is a passage you actively shape based on your state of awareness. One of the most illuminating teachings on this describes how souls who have cultivated a higher awareness can actually choose how they experience this transition. They are able to remain conscious as they cross, carrying their wisdom and sense of self with them, and can even have a hand in guiding their own path forward. But souls who are operating from denser frequencies often experience this crossing as a state of shock and confusion. They may not even understand what has happened and can remain for a time in what is called an in-between state, held between the physical and spiritual worlds because their awareness is not yet light enough to ascend to clearer realms. This is why our spiritual development is not just to make this life better. It is to prepare our spirit for a conscious passage and an intentional return. Every moment you invest in expanding your awareness is an investment in your soul's entire eternal journey. The fifth and final universal law is that time is an illusion. One of the most mind-expanding teachings explains that souls functioning from higher planes of awareness can experience what is known as the eternal now. This is a state where the past, present, and future all exist in one unified moment. This may sound like an abstract idea, but its practical application can change the way you live. When you cultivate this level of awareness, you are no longer pulled back by regrets of the past or pushed forward by anxieties for the future. You become fully present, and in that presence, you connect with an infinite creative potential that only exists in this moment. The great masters demonstrated this state of being. They could perceive threads of truth from any era, see potential pathways into the future, and even communicate with timeless wisdom itself. This was not a miraculous ability they were given. It was a state of awareness they cultivated by applying these very same spiritual principles I am sharing with you now. Here is an insight that will transform your understanding of this entire journey. A profound teaching from 1943 revealed the ultimate purpose of our human existence here on this earth. We are not meant to simply escape this physical world or to rise above the human experience. We are here to bring the qualities of the higher realms into this world by anchoring a higher awareness in our physical bodies. This means the goal is not to grow beyond our humanity, but to evolve humanity itself. Every single soul who awakens to a higher awareness while in a physical body makes it easier for every other soul to do the same. We are collectively creating a new way of being human. It was foreseen that at a certain point in our time, enough souls would have reached a higher awareness that humanity as a collective would begin to operate from a more elevated frequency. It was predicted that children born after this shift would come into this world with a natural connection to their intuition, a deeper inner wisdom, and an unspoken understanding of their soul's path. If we look at the younger generation today, we can see signs that this prediction is unfolding. These souls seem less interested in the purely material goals that motivated those before them. They are naturally drawn to exploring consciousness, healing our planet, and creating genuine spiritual community. But here is the single most vital revelation from all the ancient teachings on spiritual growth. Your current state of awareness is not a fixed destiny. Every single moment is a new opportunity to choose thoughts, words, and actions that either elevate or diminish your spiritual frequency. The important question is not which realm of awareness you are in today. The real question is, which realm do you wish to journey toward next? And what steps are you willing to take to begin that journey? In one of the most practical teachings on this path, a very simple and powerful technique was offered for accelerating one's own spiritual evolution. Each night before you sleep, simply ask your soul to reveal to you one clear way that you can be an instrument of love more fully tomorrow. Then, simply be aware of the moments and opportunities that arise. This single practice, when done with a sincere heart, can guide you from the densest state of being to the most luminous in a matter of months, rather than lifetimes. Why is this so effective? Because it brings your conscious human mind into beautiful alignment with the deepest calling of your spirit. But please remember, this journey of spiritual growth is not about trying to be perfect or leaving your humanness behind. It is about becoming more truly and authentically yourself, the radiant being that you are beneath all the layers of conditioning. Your soul made a choice to be here during this specific time in our world's story because you carry a unique gift to contribute to this great evolutionary step for humanity. The spiritual realm that awaits you is not decided by your past actions or your current perceived flaws. It is being forged by your continuous willingness to choose love, to choose truth, and to choose service in this very moment and the next. All of these profound spiritual teachings point to the same eternal truth. You are not a human being trying to have a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being immersed in a human experience. And the quality of this experience, including the realm of awareness your spirit will journey to next, is being decided by every single choice you are making right now. So, here is my invitation to you. Try the reflection practice I described earlier. Simply notice your inner responses when others challenge you. Use these reactions as your inner compass, showing you exactly where your awareness has an opportunity to expand next. Practice authentic forgiveness, not because another person is worthy of it, but because your own soul is worthy of the freedom that it brings. Serve others not to earn merit, but because service is the most natural expression of an awakened heart. And most of all, remember that you are never alone on this path. Every soul who has ever walked this earth is connected to you through the one universal consciousness that all great masters have tapped into. As you evolve, you help us all to evolve. As you find peace, you help us all to find peace. As you choose love, you make it that much easier for everyone else in this world to choose love as well. The state of awareness you will come to inhabit is not just about your personal path. It is about the shared future of humanity's consciousness. And that future is being written with every choice you make today. Before you continue on your day, I invite you to subscribe and join our shared journey as we will continue to explore the timeless wisdom that can transform your path forever. Acknowledge this message if it resonated with your spirit, and perhaps share it with another who is ready to awaken to their true spiritual capacity. Your presence helps this quiet wisdom reach the hearts that are searching for it. Remember, you are far more capable than you have been led to believe, more connected than you can imagine, and your presence here is more needed than you may ever know. Your spiritual evolution is important not only for you, but for all of us. Keep choosing compassion, keep seeking what is true, and keep serving the highest good in all that you do. Your soul and our collective future are grateful for it.